our panel. And we're not like Northern Ireland TV where we set people in the audience. We haven't done that. Well, don't think so. Here, quick, in the middle there, we lady. You might identify yourself as well, just to tell everybody who you are. Just.
First of all, I'd like to reiterate yourself, Pascal, say thank you to all the speakers, really brilliant and proud being a Navan person myself, Nuala Lynch, Loretta's sister. Just when I was coming down the town this morning in preparation for this afternoon's talk, I came to Market Square and was looking at the sculpture that we have there. And as I read it, it talked about Navan Market Cross. And that's my question. Navan Market Cross, where is that?
There's part of the cross survives in the section here in the Solstice. So if you go back out towards the reception and the little area where they sell books and pamphlets and gifts, just look to the side of that. So a section of the cross actually survives and it is there. That was found in, I think, under a barrel of beer or something and was rescued, that certain section. It would originally have been on Market Square, where the bull is today. Hugely significant. It celebrates the Nangle family, and there were a few other elements to it as well. But yeah, it would have been quite an impressive piece of work.
The second part of it was missing, and we're still looking for it. William Wakeman identified it, but it's out there somewhere. So be careful. You never know where we might unearth it yet. Somewhere in the town. Anyone else? Don't be shy. Up at the top there, maybe someone actually might just bring a mic up to someone. Candice, you want to go? Yeah, no. It's amazing how fast Candice can go when he wants to, you know? I think he was Lincoln Island going in a few minutes, very slow, I'll tell you. Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah, oh yeah.
My name is Tom Flanagan. I'd just like to extend my gratitude and admiration to all the speakers, but in particular to Mr. Davis. I thought that was a remarkable talk on the furniture industry in the town. I particularly was interested in, he mentioned the Foster brothers. I started work in Barron Welch's on the same day as Tommy Foster. And just to give the financial context, the week's wages at that time was £1.2 Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. It's amazing, like when you think of Navan today, Ken, you think of the amount of, you'd see lorries, little scut trucks going through with frames, and you don't see them anymore. Lee Moore and John Renane. It's just strange, those little images that come into your head, or come into my head now. It's just a regular occurrence. You'd see frames on the back of trailers and frames on the top of roofs. That was just part of the town in those days,
Yeah, it was extraordinary. I grew up in the 60s and the 70s in Navan, and I was generally aware that Navan was a furniture town, and obviously aware that Navan Carpets Factory was there as well. It was only really when I started researching this book that I really fully understood the impact that furniture had in Navan. Interesting, I talked to loads of people during the course of the research over the last 17, 18 months, and one of the people I spoke to was Joe Ledridge, whose dad Hugh, who Tom would have known from Bards. He told me that at one stage when he spoke to, I think it was the Vital Cortex rep who came to Navan, Vital Cortex provided the foam for the upholstery businesses in Navan, that the sales rep, when he came to Navan, had 59 separate calls to make when he came to Navan. Now, look, that was probably a bit outside Navan as well, but there was that many people in factories large and small in Navan, so it was an extraordinarily large sector in Navan. I mean, I suppose one of the questions I'd ask myself is, how many people were employed in the furniture industry in Navan, and it was such a fragmented industry, it's kind of hard to know exactly, but in 1973, Meath County Council came up with a figure. They'd obviously done a survey. They came up with a figure of 700 people who were employed at that time in Navan in the furniture factories. Given that was in the early 70s and the high point for furniture came later in the 70s and possibly into the early 1980s, I would be fairly comfortable in saying that the furniture industry in Navan employed probably about 1,200 people, at its highest point. And when you take Navan Carpets into account as well, you're talking about a figure somewhere, not that far south of 2,000 people. So there were two huge industries in Navan. They were the twin engines that powered the economy of the town for decades. And I think it's important that we remember it and we at least record it before time moves on to a point where we don't.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the book, and congratulations on that. We are looking forward because it does need to be recorded, and I suppose the memories are there. Look, we continue to do our best in Navan District Historical Society, bringing these talks and trying to get as many people in as possible. Anybody else? Yeah, up at the back. Norman. Yeah, good man, Norman. You keep kind of straight there.
You can go.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Navan Dungan. I started in the furniture business in 1955 in Navan Garrett, in Navan General. And it's possible to say it was a bit wrong on one thing, that the bands are still going through the term.
Sorry, yeah.
I go through the term 3 or 4 times a day. Still bringing the things in the back.
Well, though, yeah, I'll take that. Fair shoes. And it's good, yeah. No, would you like to tell them how long you're in the industry?
Well, I'm from 55 and I'm
Still working.
1955 and I'm still in it.
Well, that's brilliant. Isn't that something? Give him a round of applause. Are we moving again? I found Eimear one of the great things about you were talking about the Swifts. I hadn't come across Swifts, and we're letting one of the fields go into meadow, and all of a sudden we get Swifts back. And I was German Shepherd, he's driving them crazy. But these Swifts come so close to you. It's just incredible. I didn't realise they actually, right in your eyeline, and an incredible creature. And thanks for that. I hope maybe it's an indication that we do need to leave a little more green areas. We don't need. It's a good thing. We should be coming to more historical talks and forget about mowing the lawn.
There's some really good research done by Birdwatch Ireland a number of years ago, and we'll have more kind of stats on that. But that's something that we kind of want to keep watching. Like, are the numbers increasing, or what are we doing that can kind of encourage them back? But it is, again, it's an amazing thing if those same Swifts are returning, and they are, to the same place year after year after year, then they're part of our story as well, and part of the heritage and the history of the town. So that's kind of cool. There's this whole kind of unique piece that they belong to Navan, just like.
So let's get the boxes up and welcome them back. Everybody deserves a home. And if we build a new home, don't forget your wildlife as well. Anybody else finally? Candace is up at the back yet?
Next question is from my big brother Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to tell you a short story about the square in Navan at the start of 1902 or 04 or 05. I don't know the exact date, but there used to be, there was a fair on Market Square at that time, and which was on Monday. And every Monday, there was a little van just at the side where the bull is now. And a dentist used to come every Monday to look after anybody that might have a toothache for the last week or a fortnight. There was no anaesthetics or anything like that. But he had with him the one-man band. So he had a little hut, So in you went into the hut, he put you lying down, he went over to my dad for a quarter ordinary whiskey, gave him a good gulp of that, started to pull the teeth with an ordinary pliers, and he put his hand, he started to pull, and he'd wave at the one-man band to bang away as hard as they could. While he was yelping and bawling, the job was a good one. So that is exactly the first dentist that came to Navan, and that was at the start of the last century.
Not so much a question, Joe, as a story. Actually, Joe and I have many stories to tell, especially about the bar watch. We used to drink in the snug in the square, and we used to fight with each other to bring in the drink because he used to give us the tip of sixpence.
You look at, there you go, this is the heritage and the cultural end of the society, and are we done with that, or have we any more? Anyone would?
Could I interject?
Sure,
and
there is
just
one. Yeah,
say thank you to Pascal for emceeing this so brilliantly. So thank you.
It's only a pleasure. If you could do this every day, that Canis, yeah, there's one Madeline wants to, oh, you know one.
And also Angela, who tried to keep time.
Put your hand up again there.
Madeline's over here, and then you'll see it comes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Michael O'Callaghan. I just wanted to bring to your attention that we did have another good employer in the town, and it wasn't mentioned just, and I'd like to possibly correct the record, and that's Marshes. It was a good employer for all the women in particular, for all that type of work that they were doing in Marshes, and they were very good to the town as well. So basically, the Navan Carpets wasn't the only one that employed the women. Marshes done it too. So that's fair enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for the presentation.
No bother, thank you. Thanks very much. Just, Canis, if you could go over to Madeline on the. As he's squeezing through. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful, and don't forget, we have a cup of tea for everybody, and we can go like Mrs. Doyle, you know, go on, go on, go on, go on. And it is it's an important part of today as well, just meeting people and talking to people, because the more stories that we have and the recorded history is so important.
Sorry, I don't want to delay everybody, but just want to thank everybody on the stage for a wonderful, wonderful evening. As Father Hurley, growing up, listening to Jim Byrne and all the music that went on in the town, and we were told about the acoustics in the church. I'd just like to ask you a little bit more. Was the acoustics something very special that was part of Navan Church?
Yeah, I wouldn't be technical now about acoustic, but yeah, certainly the acoustics are often admired. But I suspect the acoustics have changed a lot over the lifetime of the church as well, because the original ceiling of the church was a flat ceiling when it was built. You know, the original church was just a rectangular shoebox with a flat ceiling, decorated flat ceiling nonetheless. But and then, of course, then in the 1870s, 1880s, they went up with the rose windows on both facades, and so that necessitated a new ceiling. And I'm old enough to have seen that ceiling, but I'm not old enough to remember it. and then in the 1970s, then the new roof was put in, and there's an acoustic tile, which is just underneath the roof with no ceiling in St. Mary's, just an acoustic tile. Now, so I'm not an expert, technical expert on acoustic, but certainly I'd say over time the acoustic has changed, and hopefully when we at some point in the future restore some form of ceiling to St. Mary's, I hope that the acoustic would be top class. You know.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Just to sum up, can we say thank you and well done. We look forward to the book. It's really something that we're looking for. Father Hurley, thank you, and we look forward to your career in the future. We know that you're going places, and we're very delighted with that. Eimear, thank you so much. It's great to see the conservation and the preservation, and to Clare, likewise, thanks again. And we hope that somewhere in the new plans, in the development of Navan, that we will have a fitting memorial to Declan somewhere along the lines, and we say that to the politicians and the administration of Meath County Council. Today, just to thank again the Solstice, especially Terence and Sound, Aisling and Louise, who looked after us so very well. Special thanks again to Emer O'Connell. We're delighted to have the Heritage Council behind us, and a special thanks to Loretta as well for the work that she does. To our own committee, if you're bored and of a certain age in Navan and you're feeling lonely or anything else, join us. The average age, I won't say what it is, but it's a little more than 60, but you'd think they were 30-year-olds. They're the most vibrant, energetic and hard-working group of people, and they laugh the whole way through. We were at a meeting recently